Hello, creative. I'm Kevin Elliott. I'm back with episode 3 of the Business of Creative Business podcast. Let me ask you a question. Why do some brands stick in our minds and others don't? Why do you remember certain brands so clearly and others go right through your mind and you never remember them again? Why, when I say something like German luxury car, you probably thought of Mercedes and BMW? If I say cell phone operating systems, you think of iOS and Android. If I say dark soda, Coke and Pepsi, for the most part, right? There's some other ones that you thought of, but those are the big ones. There's always two big ones that you think of. What? Why is that? What is that? What is going on there? And wouldn't you like your brand to be one of those that when people think of those words, your brand pops to mind like that? Of course you would. I would too. Okay, there is a reason why those brands stand out and others don't, and a reason why your brand can stand out and your competitors will not. Okay, and it's a magical word in marketing called positioning. Positioning. I want to introduce you to a book. Everything I'm about to say comes from this book. Positioning. You see that? By Al Ries, R-I-E-S, and Jack Trout, T-R-O-U-T, like the fish. Okay, this book will change your life in business. Every business person should read it. Every podcast I go on, I talk about this book. It is a super foundational book. Okay, positioning works like this. There are two main principles when it comes to positioning. When you're thinking about what position will your brand have in people's minds, the first thing is that brands are words, not pictures. Brands are words, not pictures. You think your brand is, our brand is our logo. It's our website. It's our Instagram, whatever it is. We think that's our brand. Now, that is part of your brand. Yes, that is part of your brand, but that's not how consumers actually think about brands. Consumers, you included, think about brands as words in our mind. Words in our minds. Okay? So when I said German luxury car, you thought of that. When I said dark soda, when I say operating system, when I say athletic shoes, when I say beach vacations. I mean, these are words in your mind. So here's the thing though. The iron rule about that is you only get a couple words. That's all you get. You don't get a paragraph. You don't get an elevator speech. You don't get all this stuff we fill our brand with all this explanation of who we are. You get one or two words. That's it. So here's the challenge. What are your words? You have to nail it down. Let me give you an example that happened to me just this morning. My wife likes to scrapbook. She does the scrapbooking stuff, and she has a friend who comes over every Sunday, and they do scrapbooking. And a friend of my wife's, her daughter is graduating high school, and she said, Liz is having her senior portraits done. She's having, and a group of her friends are going to go have all their senior portraits done on the beach, and she's like, I forget who that photographer was. And I said, I'll bet you I know who that photographer is. And if you live in Panama City, and you probably know where I'm going with this, I said, is Chandler Halligus doing Liz's photos? And she's like, yeah, it's Chandler Halligus. And the reason I know that is because Chandler, if you know Chandler and know her work, she has done a very good job of targeting. When you think Chandler, you think young women. Young women. Look at her portfolio. It's all young women. High school graduates, cheerleaders, college graduates, young people getting married, but and good for her, by the way, for that. She narrowed it down to in our area in Panama City, Florida, she is best known for photographing young women. That's a perfect example. Wewa Films, our word is heartfelt. Heartfelt. If you want a video that is heartfelt, it's emotional, it will make you feel something powerful, that's us. If you want a cool beach video of bikinis and jet skis, not us. If you want a funny animated explainer video, not us. We honed in on one word, okay? Heartfelt. So the challenge is finding your word that when people think of so painting, music, whatever it is, your category, your part in the artistic world, what word triggers your brand in their mind, okay? That's the first thing. So brands are words, not pictures. Logos and all your colors come after your word. Second principle of positioning is that brands are specific, not general. That's why it's important to nail down your word. They are generalists do not win. You don't go to the doctor. If you have a heart problem, you don't go to a general practice doctor. You go to a heart specialist. You certainly don't go to a podiatrist, right? You find somebody. We love specialists. We like people who get really good at one thing. That's hard for lots of businesses to hear, especially creatives, because I know how I'm one of you. I know what you're thinking. It's like, I don't want to be boxed in. I don't want to be known for just one. I don't want to be pigeonholed. Well, I'm going to tell you like my mom told me when I was a kid, tough. You can't have it. You got to be able to hone in on something that is very specific so people can hang that word in their mind when they think of your art form. So the question always comes to me, well, what if I want to do more than one thing? What if I want to expand out into other things? You can. But that's not impossible, but you have to start another brand. You can't do it. Did you know that Procter & Gamble, the big company that owns hundreds of consumer brands, they own Tide, they own Dove, they own Tampax, I think, they own Vaseline. They own all these individual. You may not have known that, but there's this one company called Procter & Gamble. Johnson & Johnson is another. Coca-Cola is another. Coca-Cola owns Smart Water. They own Monster. But you didn't know that because it doesn't matter, because they know that even if they want to start a new product or service, they have to start a whole new brand. Those are your principles of positioning. Read this book, Positioning. Get it right now. Brands are words, not pictures. Brands are specific, not general. Read the book. Try this for yourself. I promise if you give people those specific words to hang your brand on, the right customers will find you. Everything gets easier. Marketing gets easier. Sales gets easier because they know exactly what they're getting when they come to you. And when they come to you, they're already sold because you gave them something specific. You have a position, a specific position. Try this. If you have trouble, let me know. I love talking about this stuff, as you can tell. And I would love to help you out because this is important stuff. This is important stuff to help make you money, make your business more profitable, make it thrive. And that's what we want. Okay. You can do it, creative. I love you.